Hi, everyone. Mike Corcoran with Institutional Investor. Thanks for joining us as we continue our chat with Simon Judes. The topic is trend following, and Simon is CIO at Winton, which has long been a pioneer in the trend following space. It's been a really interesting conversation so far. And Simon, now I want to ask you a question we often get asked by institutional investors on the allocator side, and that is, how do certain strategies fit into my portfolio? So how does trend following fit into an institutional portfolio?
Sure. Trend following is obviously a part of an alternatives allocation. And an alternative to what? Well, it's an alternative to equities and bonds, which dominate most institutional portfolios. And if you look at the 10 years after the financial crisis, and you look at what a 60-40 equity bond portfolio did, it had a Sharpe ratio of around 1. In other words, it had performance characteristics equivalent to a good hedge fund. So when you look at that, a lot of people concluded from that, perhaps thinking slightly short term, that why do you need an alternatives allocation? Or if you do need an alternatives allocation, perhaps align it with things which are really leveraged versions of equities and bonds, like perhaps privates or risk parity or strategies like that. We obviously take a longer term point of view. And if you take a long term point of view, then you see that equity bond portfolio doesn't have a Sharpe ratio of 1 over a much longer time scale. Over 50 years, a Sharpe ratio of 0.4 is closer to where it lands up. And you get 10-year periods where it actually doesn't go anywhere and has a Sharpe ratio of 0. So we believe there's tremendous benefit to adding alternatives, genuinely alternative investments. Trend following fits very neatly into that category because it has the ability to go both long and short equities and fixed income in a principled way. And it also adds commodities and currency exposure, which again can be very diversifying.
All right. You've been listening to and watching insights from Simon Judes on trend following. Simon is the CIO at Winton, which has always been a leader in the trend following space. And as we wrap up our conversation with Simon, we're going to talk a little bit about what differentiates the strategy at Winton from those other folks who pursue trend following. Please join us for that part of the conversation.